not fully immerse itself in it. It was too big. Because it couldn't be known, his experience of darkness was actually a function of how close he was. I mean, think about it. The darker it got for him, the closer he was because it couldn't be known. And I started crying, and I have not used since I read that book, and I realized that this behavior, I was not evil, that's what I wanted. And I started working in the field of recovery with people that were considered dually diagnosed, and here we are today. 28 years clean, and the founder of a program that has been the greatest blessing of my life, which has spread. I've got some notes here, by the way. I'm almost done, though, just hanging there. So it reminds me that, and I'm speaking for myself because I've got this microphone, but I'm also speaking for each one in this room. One peer decided to make a difference in the life of another, and you are that tipping point. It's like when enough peers decide to help other peers. This is an apocalypse because we're in a new beginning of the value and the importance of us serving one another. Some of you know Dan Fisher, a psychiatrist who's back east in somewhere, Empowerment Initiatives. Years ago, I learned from him how the pyramid was structured, and it might have been someone before him, but so the consumers and the peers were down here, and the pyramid goes up like this, of course, and the power is up here, and everything rolled down to the consumers. And I remember Dan saying that this pyramid needs to be inverted so that we're up here and the power goes down to what used to be the top. And it was a great analogy for me. I wrote this because I knew this was going to be happening. And I wrote, there is love here. And it's like, that's why we're here. And when I say nothing can make me feel better than I do right here, right now, in this room with my brothers and sisters, it's because of the fact that we're family. And we're all here for a reason. We're all here because we know we have to make a difference in other people's lives, and by doing so, it's going to make a difference in our own lives. And there's no other choice. We have to do what we're doing. If we don't do what we're doing, we're not going to continue to heal. And this is healing. I got a couple more things, but before I get to these last things, how are we doing on time, okay? Everybody's still awake, I'm impressed. Wait, there's a person sleeping. No. Okay, did everybody get a fortune cookie? Yeah. No. Okay, I want you to open your fortune cookies.
Oh, you keep walking all over the place.
Don't try to reward this. Don't try to record this.
Well,
there's a lot of editing to do with this.
Oh yeah.
I'm moving around now.
Oh my God.
Well, no, we're gonna. Has everybody read your fortune cookies?
There he goes again.
Okay. If there's anything in your fortune that has anything to do with this event, with one another, or with Pure Apocalypse, or this presentation, raise your hand. Oh my God. Are we connected or what?
No, it says my income will increase. Hey, my income will increase.
Do we want to have questions and answers or comments or something?
You win the 500?
No, we can't. But I thought of this all by myself, right, by the way, and I thought it was pretty funny. You guys might not think it's funny, but I cracked myself up. Read my apocalypse. Read my apocalypse. I love you all. And that's my wish for all of you. Kisses and hugs to everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you. What a blessing.
Do you want to do questions and answers?
Yeah, do you want, does any?
Wait, back of my head, really? Really?
If anyone has any questions or comments for Corbett.
Bear does, my son. I saw that hand.
Corb, oh, you got it. With your work from DDA, can you explain a little bit more about the expansion of DDA and where it's at today?
Nice.
Yeah, we started in, I was working with people that lived in a place called Redwood Manor, and a couple of people that I was working with happened to have a diagnosis of schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia. They loved to go to AA, and they happened to be pretty disruptive, harmless, but if you didn't understand some of the symptoms and voices and, you know, what happens when a person's taking Haldol, as Ruben was, and it just looked kind of odd. Unfortunately, he had muscular rigidity and EPS and things like that. I was asked not to bring them back to AA, but they love to go to 12-step meetings. So really, on a whim, I started Dual Diagnosis Anonymous. The first meeting was in Fontana, California on February the 1st, 1996 at the First Presbyterian Church, and I got to chair that meeting. And DDA has only been organized since I left my position managing a prison program called Bridgepoint at CRCI. Go former inmates. Go Iron Tribe. Right on. And since 2005, DDA has spread to virtually every state in this country. And what really trips me out, besides this, is that I got an email from the Czech Republic in Prague and sent all the materials. So a couple of women in the Czech Republic started DDA there. So as it turns out, DDA continues to spread. It's in Ireland and England and Australia and Canada and the Czech Republic, and I don't even know where it is. And I can tell you this, and it's not always easy to do. The key is to keep Corbett out of the way and allow whatever the divine presence is overshadowing the fellowship of Dual Diagnosis Anonymous to do its work, and things like this happen. And it's not always so easy to keep little Corbett out of the way. Me. Right? So thank you, Vera.
What is water?
What is water? Is this a really? Did you know that I use the water in your glass to clean my fingers? And then I thought I was a priest. Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Just like we get all the yeah.
Period of time. In other words, I didn't really hear the story of the grave, but I heard your story, you know, working in California and coming back up. So I just got another picture of you tonight, and I just want to thank you for sharing and for being here.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Hey, Corbett, I don't even like it. I'm already.
Something's happening. There's something growing in here.
I'm already loud as it is.
Okay.
I'm sure everybody can hear me. But, you know, I want to thank you for bringing DDA to us down in Medford. You know, we facilitated a DDA meeting there at the VA in White City, Oregon, which is down in Jackson County. You know, at our VA there, it's and some of you have heard me say this before, it's the largest drug and alcohol treatment facility in the world that the VA operates. Wow. It's over 500-man bed. Wow. Now, of course, when it comes to meeting night, we have quite a few hundred that are cured, but you know, it's good to have the option because, you know, we have vets that suffer from PTSD, suffer from depression, suffer from different traumas, whether it's MST or PTSD. And so having DDA available It gets rid of that stigma. And I heard it said that, you know, I've got vets that go, people that go to an AA meeting and they want to talk about their medications. Or go to an NA meeting and want to talk about what alcohol is doing to them. And sometimes the old timers, they get a little touchy. And sometimes the newcomers don't understand. There's a mixed message there. But what we do there, and having DDA available, is that, you know what, if a veteran is suffering from PTSD or whatever it may be, or just having a bad day, because DDA is there, we can talk about it. And there's no shame, there's no guilt. There's none of that involved, and they're willing to share. You know, and on the average, we maintain, you know, 15 to 18 members that come to our meeting every Tuesday night, and it is a good thing. And then, but by the time they leave, everybody's better, and we can hug, and we can talk, and we can discuss our challenges. You know, not only man to man, but that to that. And so, Corbett, I want to thank you.
I think there's something wrong with this mic. And also with you.
I just wanted to say that without DDA, my life wouldn't be the way it is today. I actually have gone into an AA meeting and been told not to talk about my medications or the fact that they help me keep myself clean and sober or all together mentally. And without DDA, I would have nowhere to go with that.
Hi.
I haven't heard it yet. Let me whisper.
Yeah. What is it that we haven't heard yet? The title of my presentation, To Live Without Hope is to Cease to Live. And I am careful and hopeful that my story is a reflection of the motto. And as the founder of DDA in 1986, what did I say 96 before, by the way? It started in 1986, and so I got a little prayer booklet from a woman who was dying from a brain tumor, but she was a hero for me. Her name was Pat, all the way to the end. And in this little booklet she gave me was this quote in June by Fyodor Dostoevsky, "To live without hope is to cease to live." And what a blessing and an honor for me to adopt that as the motto for DDA. Thank you for reminding me of why I was here, because I know that I would have forgotten.
Look at him. He's just high. You don't care.
I just wanted to say thank you for bringing up about the no secret keeping, or that you don't keep secrets, or try not to. And I forgot what you said, something about anonymity or something. But I've been really struggling when I go to AA, because they always say at the end of the meet, or at the beginning or the end, something about what happens here stays here. And every time I hear that, it just hits my heart, you know, it hurts me. And that's kind of an eye-opener, you saying that up there, you know. And I need to be around more people like that believe that. And because me, I went through a while where I just went to AA meeting after AA meeting, and I wouldn't say anything. When I left the meeting, I was just pretty much speechless, like scared to say anything that I learned in the meeting. And that's kind of a bad way to live, because it's supposed to be where you recover and get better. And you're supposed to leave there and learn things and tell people, hey, I learned something in AA, you know, and it helped me, you know. Because it's supposed to recover you. It's supposed to help you talk and get better, I think. Now I think that way, and I just want to say thank you. And DDA, I think, is maybe more like that, but I don't want to, you know, be judgmental. But thank you very much.
Thanks, bro. Thank you.
I just want to say I love DDA. It's a place where I can express myself intellectually without judgment. And even when others don't understand the stroke of genius. So thank you all.
This is a DDA love fest. Who would have thought? Yeah. I will say something. It comes up about anonymity and confidentiality. In DDA, we hold in equal regard whether a person wants to be totally anonymous and not disclose they're a member of our fellowship, or they can fully disclose who they are and disclose that they are a member of the DDA fellowship for exactly what you were talking about, so we can get our story out there and we can show people that not only is recovery possible, it will happen if we do the things that we need to do with one another. It's not only possible, it's going to happen.
Hey, Corbett, I just want to take a second to thank you for helping us to reestablish the DDA meetings within the correctional facility in Washington County, the Community Correction Center. We've been making a run at that for a couple of months, and in that first meeting, you were there and you told your story, and there was 25 people in that room from the ages of about 23 to 55. And I saw a lot of light bulbs go on over heads, a lot of eyes open up. I saw people who could take that deep breath and be who they wanted to be for a long time. So I really thank you for that. And also, don't you have a conference coming up?
Thank you, Marlena. Yes, we're going to be, we do have a conference coming up called What is Water? It's a fundraiser for DEA in Washington County. We'll be making sure that people have information about that over the course of the next couple of days. So,
That was too
I
hard.
just got to tell you one story, and then this is past my bedtime.
Bedtime?
Can I tell you that they got me a suite, and they said because I'm the keynote, I get a suite. And did you know that I've got 2 bathrooms in my room? I'm so confused. I don't know where to go. So Doyal, Doyal's been clean a long time now, but when I first met Doyal, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, he was doing pretty good. He put together a couple of years, clean and sober, and he was going to meetings and calling me on a regular basis, and all of a sudden he disappeared. Now, having been a counselor for some 40 years in the field of dual diagnosis and recovery, you don't want to think the worst, but I always get a little bit concerned when someone who's been doing so well all of a sudden disappears for a few weeks. So finally, after about 3 weeks, because Doyal had just celebrated 18 months clean and sober, and it was a really big event, and then he disappeared. So a few weeks after his 18-month birthday for recovery, him and his family decided to have a party at his brother-in-law's and a barbecue. So we're all stoked about it. I wasn't able to go, but Doyal, I know, was stoked about it. So that's the last time I saw him, knowing he was going to this party. So lo and behold, about 3 weeks later, he calls finally. I said, Doyal, how you doing, bro? And he said, well, I just, I haven't been around. I said, yeah, I know, are you okay? He said, well, I relapsed. And I said, man, I'm so glad you called me. It's all about learning. It's all about being able to have the courage to call somebody if you've had a slip or whatever. I was just so stoked that he called. And I said, I asked him if he had any. What he did, he said, I drank. He said, and he said, my family was asking me if it was okay to have beer at the barbecue. And I thought, sure, it's not going to bother me. I've been sober for 18 months. Well, apparently it did bother him. And he said, I ended up, I hope you don't mind me telling your story, bro. I didn't get permission, but that's okay. He's the assistant director at DEA, so he gives up anonymity and everything. So he goes, I was drinking beers, and after each beer we had a shot of tequila as a chaser. He said, I got so drunk, and I said, dude, you called me, man, and that really matters. I said, do you have any booze in the house? And he said, no, because it's just something you do. Do you have any alcohol? Do you have any drugs? Get rid of them. And he said, no, I don't have anything in the house. I said, have you been clean since your party 3 weeks ago? He said, yeah, I've been clean. I said, congratulations, bro. I'm proud of you. And he said, and you know what? I took a cab home, too, from the party. That is pretty big. I mean, that's some good stuff. And then it was like, you know, thinking about all the positive reinforcement, I said, bro, not only did you call me, it took you a couple weeks, but that's okay, man. It's all good. I still love you. And you probably saved someone's life by taking a cab home. I mean, you know what happens? That's a #1 cause of death among a lot of people is car crashes related to drinking. And so, and Doyle was, I could tell he was all pumped up because he was getting such positive strokes. He said, yeah, and he said, I'll tell you, I might have been really drunk, but it was a good thing because there was a checkpoint on the way to my house, and they just let the cab right on through. I said, dude, I'm so proud of you. He said, yeah, and I got up in the morning, I looked out my driveway, I saw that cab, I don't even know where I got it. I never Love you guys, thank you.